Hey guys, pretty miserable looking day outside today. It's raining. It's a day off. I've got a few movies to watch and review, so I'm going to be doing that a little bit later. I'm going to be whipping up myself some lunch in about 2 hours, so I've got a bit of time to kill. So I just thought I'd have this little bit of an opportunity to kind of tell you guys a little bit more about myself. Yeah, I like to do my movie reviews and my trailer reactions, and I've done a few little silly cooking vids on here as well, but as a person, you don't really know who I am. So when you watch these YouTube videos and you got all these people out here in this massive world, you invite us into your lounge rooms, onto your laptops, onto your computer screens, and yeah, you kind of like see a snapshot of this person's life. And it's really intriguing, and I find it really interesting just to see such a broad cross-section of people all around the world, and they're just sharing a little bit of their life with everyone, and it's really, really cool that YouTube has made everyone so accessible to each other, and everyone has got an amazing story to tell. And my story is pretty much that, well, I'm an adopted kid. I've always known that I was adopted. Mum and Dad told me when I was really, really young, so they never wanted that to be a surprise to me later in life, because I can imagine that being mature, like being a mature teenager or a young adult or even a full-grown adult, to find out that your parents aren't your biological parents. I could imagine that would be quite the surprise for anyone. I mean, I know I wouldn't like it, though it would be supremely weird. Being aware that I was adopted always kind of left me feeling a little bit, well, not unloved, but a little bit aside from the rest of the family. I don't know if any other adopted people out there have felt that way as well, but I just kind of felt a little bit aside from the family, not out of the family or like I said, unloved, but just aside because no one really looked like me. I didn't have anybody that resembled me in any way. And this isn't a complaint. It's just an observation as a kid growing up, knowing that he was in an adopted family. I was raised wonderfully well at a good home, good parents. I have a brother that I love dearly, who I don't see very often. And I had a good home. So I was raised right. So that's not even a problem. I come from a good home and I'm very, very lucky. But just having that little nugget of awareness in the back of your head, you always are a little bit removed from that true family dynamic, and it kind of stays with you forever. So whenever we're watching TV or a movie or something, and then or a news article, and the point of adoption came up, I would always feel really uncomfortable. Like I didn't want to talk about it for a long time. I was really, really angry at the thought that my biological parents gave me up. I was like, somebody didn't want you. Somebody gave you away. So why should you like or respect them? You know, they gave you up. They're not worth your time. So I was really angry for a long time. I didn't show it. I just kind of kept that inside. It was just something that I carried, and I moved on. So that was my life. It wasn't a burden. It wasn't something that I struggled with daily. I was just an adopted kid who was angry at his biological parents for giving him up. Like I said, I came from a good home. I loved my parents, mum and dad. They're mum and dad. They raised me. I was put into a good home, and I was given a good life, and I've got some pretty good morals, I believe. Like to think I'm a good person. So yeah, so mum and dad, you did a good job. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago, when my father died of cancer, that the idea of mortality kind of kicked in. So I could remain angry. I could just continue on my life not knowing and just have that resentment, just harbor that resentment against my biological parents and not know. Or I could look for them. I could learn about myself, find out where I'm from, and just put that mystery that has been hanging over my head forever to rest. I could just find out. I could just know. I felt like I was, by this stage I was I was in my late 30s. I felt mature enough in myself to be comfortable with the idea of finding out who my biological parents were. Mum and dad always encouraged me to find out, more so than any other reason was for health reasons, just to find out if I had any, hereditary condition or some biological ticking time bomb inside me that could go off at any moment. So they always encouraged me. Like I said, they told me at a young age, and they always said that if I ever decided to go and find who they were, they would back me 100%. But like I said, I was a bit angry and resentful, so that really never crossed my mind for years. But when I lost dad and it was something that I became comfortable doing, yeah, I leaped in with the help of my beautiful fiance, Nicole. I'm going to call her Batman from now on because she did just a simple Google search and a few little searches online. And we found my biological mother. I put myself onto the registry to say that I was open for contact. And yeah, within weeks, I found Yvonne, my biological mother, who lived over in Perth. She moved over to Sydney, or Cronulla, when she was a kid and met my biological father, Tim. Made me one passionate romantic night. The reason that she put me up for adoption is because, one, she was only a 15-year-old girl at the time. And her father was a disciplinarian. He gave her two options. Well, one option. You're not keeping it and you're not getting rid of it. So I was lucky. So she carried me to term and yeah, I was put up for adoption, and then weeks later, adopted by mum and dad. So just learning that little nugget of information about why kind of erased years of anger and resentment. I mean, a 15-year-old kid with a baby wanting to give me the best opportunity in life. Damn. She made the right call. So I met Yvonne. It was really nice. We got on really well, and having that family resemblance was pretty amazing. And for somebody that I just met, it was amazing how quickly we bonded. It was like we'd never been apart at all. So that was really cool. Having that instant family bond was amazing. At the time, she couldn't really recall much about Tim. Like, you're talking like 40 years previous. I've had girlfriends a long time ago. I can barely remember their names. Granted, I didn't get anybody pregnant, I don't think. So yeah, it took a while for us to actually locate and find Tim. That was a little while later, but we found him as well. And I met him last year, I think, 2 years ago. He came down to Sydney and visited me with his lovely new wife. And he was cool too. He's a real character. I can definitely see where I get my looks from. I can see where I got my grey hair from. I really didn't stand a fighting chance. Both of them are very, very grey. So at least I know that is one of the reasons I was pulling grey hairs out of my head when I was 17 years old. It was hereditary. I had no chance at all. And what this introduction to these two new people in my life has also introduced me to is siblings. I've got so many half siblings now. It's crazy. I've got like 9 brothers and sisters who I haven't met. Well, I've only met Johan, who is basically my younger brother, and I've got Ben to meet too, also from Yvonne's side of the family, and then we got all Tim's kids. So yeah, it's amazing to think that I have got this sudden massive extended family out there waiting to meet me, and I can't wait to get out there and meet all my new siblings and see the parentals again and just, you know, become a family. It's really, really cool. So just wanted to say to all you adopted kids out there, we all have a bond with each other. We all have gone through the same situation, well, sort of, and you know, we're kind of like all here for each other. So if anybody's out there is adopted and you got questions or queries or concerns, or you just want to say, hey, please leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate hearing from you. We're a unique little group, thousands and thousands and thousands of us. But yeah, it's just nice to think that you got something in common with other people out there. And meeting your parentals, I'd love to hear your stories and see how they went. It's just amazing how life can be so amazing sometimes. It's really cool. You know, guys, that's just a little story from me today. Just wanted to share a little part of me with you guys out there. By no means is it everything, but it's something that I was kind of thinking about sharing for a while, and I just wanted to put it out there. And yeah, there you have it. You know, guys, thanks for checking into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, like I said, or leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.